Thank you for clicking on my cast interviews for the movie The King of Staten Island. I would appreciate it. I am work in progress when it comes to this social media stuff. I'm pretty good on Instagram, Tara on TV, not good at all on Twitter. I know there's a subscribe button somewhere down here. I would love it if you would consider clicking that thing, and I'll try to do my part to bring some of these interviews to you as I get them. And in this case, I was very fortunate to sit down with Pete Davidson, Judd Apatow, and the cast of The King of Staten Island. I hope you enjoy the interviews. And again, feel free to subscribe if you feel like it, if you've got nothing else to do. First of all, congratulations on this. Oh my gosh. And I have to start with you, Judd, because it has been fun to talk to Pete's friends about how proud they are of him. But what are you most proud of as it relates to this project and Pete?
I'm just proud that it's good. It's so hard to make a good movie. You always want to make a good movie, and sometimes you work just as hard, and at the end, you're like, that didn't work at all.
Right.
Like it's always the same amount of effort, and then sometimes everything just comes together like it did with this movie. Pete obviously is so fun to watch, and he's very brave about mining his personal history to create this story. And we all cared so much. So the best part is just that I think we did something we're proud of.
I agree. It is good. And it's funny, when I heard Pete and you, I wasn't worried. Pete, were you worried?
Oh, not at all. I think when you get the opportunity to work with Judd, you get that golden ticket to, go to Willy Wonka and see his factory. It's just, it's one of those.
You're Mike TV. You're Mike TV.
I'm Mike TV. It's just one of those really special things that a select few get to do, and I'm just like really honored that I was able to do it.
Well, you have been very open about your struggles, and I loved the fact that you cast family members and your buddies were on set and they were in the film. But let's be honest, was there ever a time where you had to say to Judd, hey, I know I cast so-and-so, but they're not as good as I thought they'd be, so maybe cut down their lines? Or is there anyone that actually was bad?
Just our co-writer, Dave Cyrus, who had to walk through one shot, and he's like...
Yeah, it's actually true. Our co-writer, Dave, couldn't walk through the shot.
But did anyone surprise you out of your friends? They were good as actors in this film, like better than you thought they'd be.
They were all really incredible, and they made me super proud, and I feel really lucky because, I told Judd, these are the guys, and Judd trusted me, and they really delivered. So it's all together. It just made me really happy.
I need somebody to tattoo. I'm running out of... Come on, Rich, what about you, man?
Don't even look at me, dude.
I mean, the tattoo stuff, first of all, I can't imagine getting a tattoo because I know it's painful. You have a ton of tattoos. There's a big theme of, the Obama tattoo is hilarious. There's the tattoo restaurant. Judd, you've said there's no way you're getting a tattoo, but Pete, if you could tattoo your director, what would you tattoo on him?
Either a self-help book or a top hat.
An entire Eckhart Tolle book.
Judd loves his books.
Yeah. I don't know if he loves them that much. That's a long, I don't even know if you have enough space for that book. Let's go down the line, Pete. What would you tattoo on Marisa Tomei if she'd let you?
Marisa Tomei. Probably a pair of gold trimmed glasses. Yeah.
She loves her glasses.
She loves her glasses. She really rocks them well.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, probably a Boston Celtics emblem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve,
probably a fire hat. I think he would love that very much.
Steve Buscemi, when we were looking to figure out how to do the tattoos, there's tons of tattoos of Steve Buscemi. People get him tattooed on themselves all the time.
Did he know that?
He did. It's a popular thing to have tattoos of Steve.
Oh my God. Wait, so have the run-on Pete Davidson tattoos happened yet?
I saw one person did, and I feel really worried for their well-being.
Okay, you don't get that crazy your whole life just because Dad died, okay? At least you got to know him.
I want to go back just quickly. I know it's personal. I know you've talked a lot about that. Did this help? The studio provided us a nice little featurette with your sister and your mom and your grandpa are all in there. Did this help?
Oh, this was the most helpful. Being able to work through issues, at this magnitude and, to have this audience and just this cast and crew behind me, it really helped me heal a lot of those wounds that I've been so desperately needing to heal for such a long time.
I know, Bel, you've been a friend of Pete's for a while. I'll start with you. What did you learn about him? How did this film help you understand him a little better?
I'm just so proud of him and admire him so much in what he's done with this movie. I mean, to put a personal story like that, you know, on the line, and to try and encourage people to think more about grief and coming of age and mental health, I think is just so brave and incredible. And he was so amazing to work with. I mean, he's such a wonderful actor and scene partner. And yeah, I just learned what I already knew about him, but it really set it in stone for me.
You gonna be okay without me here?
But you don't think I could survive here without you?
You know, it is interesting. You're watching him and you know the backstory, so it does give it a little bit more weight. And Maude, you're really the only one that, well, I shouldn't say that. Bel, you've got some great argumentative scenes with him too. But Maude, you go toe to toe and you hold him accountable. And I would imagine, knowing how fragile he is in real life and how open he's been in real life, were those scenes hard to do?
I mean, we were definitely acting, so I don't know if we were that way, but we had a lot of fun fighting. I think, yeah.
You don't get that crazy your whole life just because Dad died, okay? At least you got to know him.
Did his real sister ever pull you aside and go, listen, I used to say this to him all the time. Thank you for trying to get across a message I've spent years trying to get across?
No, but I think they tried to like talk to her and make sure that they were getting the script correct. And obviously Pete wrote it and has had many fights with her. So hopefully we got it right.
I love Staten Island. It's amazing.
Bel, your accent, I know a lot of people are, you're from England. You've got this Staten Island accent. I want to read you a quote. I loved reading something where they talked about your character, the fact that it, quote, never descended into parody, which I agree with. And I thought that's a fine line sometimes to kind of struggle with. Was that hard for you to characterize somebody from Staten Island, but not make it a parody of somebody there?
I think that was actually thank God that like Judd stopped me when I wanted to keep going further and further and further, because with like the whole look and the accent and everything, I really could have taken it like way further than I did. But yet he was like, Bel, that's just going to go to a realm that's not even real. So yeah, thank you, Judd.
Maude, you know, watching your father, you've obviously worked with him before, knowing that he's kind of great at finding people that have struggles and giving them a vehicle to really be themselves. I know you had to audition for him, but what was it like to see him helm a film about this subject with the person it's kind of about?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the first time, like, I haven't worked with my dad since I was a kid. Like, it's been almost 10 years since I worked with him. And so it was definitely like a different experience getting to watch him work as an adult and see how he is with Pete and help like their relationship and their creative relationship. And yeah, it was very cool to see them collaborate together.
Did you happen to get a chance to take a look at the...
I mean, I drew like that too when I was 14.
Did he actually try to tattoo you guys or convince you to get tattoos while shooting the film?
He didn't tattoo either of us, but on the last day of filming, he did get like a tattoo artist onto set for anyone who wanted a tattoo.
True.
Yeah. We didn't volunteer ourselves.
I'm going to open that tattoo restaurant.
His big idea in the film is that tattoo restaurant, Ruby Tattoo Days. If that were around, would you guys go have dinner there? Is that a date spot for you?
Definitely not.
No, I feel like I'd go just to watch the people who would go on a date there.
I like your tattoos. What are those numbers on your arm?
Oh, that's the date my dad died. He was a fireman.
Right. A lot of people are talking about how personal this is, obviously, for Pete. But in light of your background as a firefighter, this had to have been personal to you, too. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, absolutely. You know, when I hear Judd talking about the film and the genesis of Pete's character and the film, of what would it be like if he hadn't found comedy, but what would he be doing with his life, and how would the issues that he's had, you know, that he's dealt with, how would they present themselves, and all of that. And for me, the character that I'm playing, I went, well, yeah, this character could be the guy that maybe I would have become had I stayed on the fire department, been the senior guy, and I love that.
Your dad was a hero, and heroes are necessary. and they should be allowed to have families.
I loved playing this character because he's a senior guy. You know, he has the respect of the firehouse, but he's also got problems himself. He's got issues that he's still working through. I get to have a scene with Pete, you know, talking to him about his dad and who his dad was, you know, all of the wild things and the messed up things, but also the heroic things. And I think it's, you know, he actually gets to hear it and listen and see his dad as a human being. And I think that's what ultimately that's what he's been looking for.
Well, and you know, you talked about maybe this is who you would have turned out to be, kind of the senior guy, which is true because you pop up in a TV show or a film and immediately I'm like, oh, okay, now we got some credibility here. Like your resume and the fact that in some ways you kind of are, you know, the authoritative figure, the guy that kind of provides weight to things. I don't know if you sense that. Do you feel that too when newer actors come on board and they're working with you?
Well, you know, these last couple of years I've been doing a show, Miracle Workers, and I'm the old guy on set. It's like
that's a good thing.
It is. Sometimes I look around, I go, how did I get here? I used to be joking around and like, you know, and talking about what they're going to do that night. And now I just feel like, you know, but I love it too, because I love hanging out with them and I love being around young people and creative people. And yeah, it's great.
I have to ask you about tattoos. I just got done talking with Pete and Judd, and I would imagine Pete tried to convince everybody to get a tattoo. Was he successful in any way trying to talk you into getting one before filming wrapped?
He did not, and I don't have any tattoos. And somebody asked me what would I get if Pete and if I agreed to it. And now I'm thinking about it. You know, I think I may head over to his basement in Staten Island, and maybe he could do something fire department related.
Steve, probably a fire hat. I think he would love that very much.
Well, I have your answer. He actually said it would be a fire helmet.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Judd told me that there are a lot of people apparently that have Steve Buscemi tattoos on themselves.
Yeah, but some of them are awful. Some good ones out there, but some of them are just frightening.
Obama ain't right.
So similar to the Obama one that his friend has in the film, a little bit messed up.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Those are out there of me. Yeah.
I'm gonna be here forever.
Yeah. I know you play Pete's mom in the film, and I know she was on set. Did she ever pull you, an Oscar winner, aside and say, you know what, here's how you play me. This is what you should be doing. Did she offer you any advice?
You know, she wasn't really on the set that much. She only came down one day when we were working at the hospital because she's a nurse in real life. So she came down and visited with us, but it was really, Pete really didn't want her to know what the script was about.
Well, you probably knew. I mean, he's called this a love letter to his mom, and obviously it's a personal project for him. Does that change how you play the part in any way, knowing the backstory of that?
No, no. We just he put his heart and soul and brains into the script, and then I got it and kind of did my interpretation with Judd, but it wasn't really based on her. I think we just got more and more comfortable with each other. His grandparents came, his grandpa's in it, but his grandparents came. They'd bring food. I loved his grandparents, and we were in his neighborhoods. So in that sense, yeah, I got to know him on his own turf.
Were you comfortable enough by the end to allow him to give you a tattoo?
He's got a little work to do on that.
Well, I hear he tried to talk everybody into getting one, and I just got done talking to him and said, if you could tattoo Marisa and she gave you permission, what would it be? And his answer was your glasses. He says she loves those glasses.
I like to see. Actually, I forgot to put my contacts in today. Yeah.
I've been dating someone for a little while now.
I heard an interview with Bill. I had to laugh out loud. He talked about it's easy for him to play a jerk. And when we first meet his character, he and Pete are butting heads. That's easy. But the thought of doing an on-camera kiss with an Oscar winner completely freaked him out. Did you sense his nervousness?
Yeah, he was pretty freaked out, actually.
How do you help him through that?
Yeah. He was like, let's plan it out. Let's just, that was good too. But yeah.
How did you work through
and
that
Judd,
with
it was
him?
uncomfortable for everybody, I think. Judd was like, I don't, is it over?
Right. He says you're the best actress he's ever worked with. I would imagine he's getting there after something like this, where you just like, dude, it's just a kiss. It's not a big deal. Like, how did you help him?
He didn't need any help. He's right in the zone, as you can see. He's super funny. Like he talks, he's really funny, obviously, but he's very thoughtful and very philosophical. So you'd be like in some kind of deep conversation right before we went to shoot, but in a way that kind of also gets you right into the scene with him.
Probably distracted him enough where he didn't have to overthink it. I know they're wrapping me, but quickly, a lot of people hope that people understand Pete more after seeing this movie. I know he does. What do you hope people get from this and learn about Pete after seeing this?
Well, I hope that he feels really happy that he did it and that he exposed himself like this, and that I hope that it feels good for his whole family and his community of firefighters and their children who've gone through so much. So I hope that this brings a balm to that